While I remain dubious that it will help, feel free to visit the herd of Algidi in New Orleans. If you do, please convey my regards. No doubt you will find them every bit as delightful as I do. After learning about my connection to the herd of Algidi, you contacted them for more information on my studies. They invited you to visit New Orleans, where they promised to share the results of their research. During an otherwise cordial meal, the members of the herd of Algidi began discussing comets and strange rituals associated with their passage. Your suspicions arose too late. Outnumbered, you soon became captives of the herd of Algidi. My poor friend, I'm dreadfully sorry that investigating my death brought you to such a dire end. How can you possibly escape this predicament?
We'll be back for you. You can count on it.
You did it! Now that you're free, you should take this chance to escape the mansion.
I can't leave without my friend.
Yes, of course. You must find your friend first.
We've got this one locked up in the kitchen pantry. Andrew took the other one to the servant's bedroom.
I bet he'll forget the key in the living room again.
Probably. If so, that'll be another corpse to get rid of.
They appear to be discussing your friend.
Who's there? Let me out!
There you are. The door's locked. Judging by the plate, I need a brass key.
Nothing in life is easy, is it?
Those sound like footsteps upstairs.
Every minute you remain here is another chance they'll recapture you. Save yourself.
Who are you? I can see you aren't with this so-called herd.
This man is an intruder. He shouldn't be here.
You must have caused that commotion that drew them away. What a lucky break.
Who are you?
Rex Murphy, ace reporter. Too much? Yeah, too much. Anyway, I write for the Arkham Advertiser.
What is a journalist from Arkham doing so far from home?
What brings you all the way to Louisiana?
I picked up a lead on a wild story. Local Arkham lady claimed her next-door neighbor was using a voodoo doll to torment her. Some dispute about a cat using a flower bed as his litter box. I know this voodoo talk sounds crazy, but she had pinpricks all over her body. Anyway, doll seller was one Alphonse Lanuit from right here in New Orleans. He says he sold only an ordinary doll, so the angry neighbor could work out his frustration without harm.
I've heard of Alphonse Lanuit. What led you here to the mansion?
Even though Lanuit swears he didn't put any voodoo on the doll, maybe somebody else did. A group called the Herd of Algidi is supposed to have a book full of evil secrets.
That sounded like headline material, so I came to have a look around. Looks like I kicked a hornet's nest.
That's so crazy I believe it. I'm trying to find my friend so we can get out of here.
Help me find this voodoo book, and I'll help you look for your friend. Deal?
What a fortuitous encounter. Now, to find your companion and escape.
This book might be useful to us too.
Never mind the book. It's your own skin you should be protecting.
You know, there's something odd about this sky globe, or whatever you call it. We should check it out. Do you hear that? Something clicked.
That didn't come from the globe. It's from the corridor. Did we do something?
You really should reconsider this pattern of breaking into people's houses and breaking their things.
What is this beast?
What science could create such a beast? It looks most like a goat, but its eyes radiate an almost human intelligence.
Why is this beast locked up in here? Is it a prisoner? Considering all those symbols, maybe they worship the thing.
I bet it's guarding something important. Could be the book. We'd better get rid of it.
If it is a guardian, it must be powerful. Run, my friends. Run while you still can.
It's down.
I wouldn't be too sure of that. If that creature is as supernatural as those symbols indicate, you may have no way of killing it. Flee for your lives.
Let's hurry up and find that book. Or whatever it was guarding.
I got the words, I got the tune. I've been rehearsing under the moon, but I got nobody to hear my song, so I'm humming to myself. I got the place, I got the time. I got a lot of love, words that rhyme, but I got nobody to hear my song, so I'm humming to myself. I guess it just had to be. Won't someone listen to me? got the place, I got the time. I got a lot of love for that rhyme, but I got nobody to hear my song, so I'm humming to myself. I guess it just had to be. Won't someone listen to me? I got the words, I got the tune. I'd like to croon it under the moon, but I got nobody to hear my song, so I'm humming.
Let's get you out of there.
Thanks. I was starting to get worried in there.
Now all we need is to find this evil book.
Won't someone listen to me? I got the one.
Seems to say the time is right.
Did the bookcase move?
It sure did. And there's a door behind it. I'd bet my typewriter that's where we'll find the book.
Let's have a look. What a treasure trove of antique books. I wonder whether there are any plays.
So much ancient knowledge gathered in one place. Imagine what I could have achieved with such resources.
If I were a book of evil magic, this is just where I'd call home.
This place feels eerie.
Here it is. Le Culte des Ghouls. Looks like it's all in French.
Look at these engravings. We saw a creature just like this drawing at Arkham Asylum. And this weird little one, we first saw at the university.
This pattern looks like a constellation. It's Capricornus, the one we keep seeing.
There will be time to read after we get out of this mansion.
Uh-oh, we have company.
Was having this book really worth all the trouble it caused you?
We have the book and everybody's here. It's time to move.
His name may pop up more than once, but I can't imagine this Alphonse Lanouille will prove helpful to your investigation. If you insist on seeking him out, you can find his shop in the French Quarter. You're wasting time pursuing this Lanouille character. He's untrustworthy at best, an outright liar at worst. If nothing else, New Orleans is a beautiful city to visit. You never know what you'll find around the next corner. Of course, not everything one finds here is a pleasant surprise. I hope nothing tragic befalls you on these unfamiliar streets.
Finally, we're in the French Quarter, and there's Jackson Square up ahead. If Rex was telling us the truth, we'll find Alphonse Lanouille's shop on a back street nearby.
I still think this Lanouille is not to be trusted.
Yeah, oh, okay.
An old voodoo shop. This must be the place.
The door's locked. Mr. La Nuit, we've come to talk to you.
Hey, get away from my shop. Hey, you won't trick me that easily, you bloody-handed assassins.
What? We're not.
I warned you he's untrustworthy.
Mr. La Nuit, we're just here to talk.
Leave at once before I call the police.
He sounds upset. Maybe one of his neighbors can help us talk to him.
All we need to do is show La Nuit this sign. And that sounds too easy.
Let's give it a try.
Mr. La Nuit?
I told you to go away. Ah, so you're requesting sanctuary. Very well. If Aristide vouches for you, you may come inside. Now that I have a closer look at you, I must say you don't appear very much like assassins. What do you want?
Who would send assassins to murder a mere shopkeeper? I mean, no offense, of course. It's just in my experience, assassins target more, regal targets.
All I can say is that someone out there wants to kill me. And I won't take one step outside my house until I know the threat is over. Now answer my question. What do you want?
We're investigating the death of a friend who was murdered recently. The trail led to a member of the Herd of Algidi.
You consort with the Herd? Why then you are my enemies, and the shop's ward should have prevented you from entering. I'll just...
Wait, no. The Herd are no friends of ours.
Is that so? Well, whether or not that's true, I fail to see what any of this has to do with me.
A reporter named Rex Murphy pointed us to here and suggested you might have more information about them. What's more, our late friend Professor Tillinghast mentioned you in her notes.
Tillinghast? You're friends of Wilhelmina Tillinghast?
Yes. Just recently in Arkham we...
And you say she's dead. You actually saw her corpse?
Yes, that's why we're...
Oh, no. No. It's gone much further than I imagined. No wonder they're after me.
What's gone further? Who is after you?
Why, the Herd, of course. They're behind all of this. Quickly, there's no time to waste.
What is this sputtering fool talking about? And the way he keeps interrupting you, how rude.
Wait just a moment!
Engelbert. He's my assistant. I sent him to infiltrate the Herd and learn what designs they might have on me. If Tillinghast is dead, I fear he might be next. I don't dare leave the protections of my shop. You must find him and bring him back here. Take 2 right turns after leaving my shop. His house is the one with the red door, just past the cafe.
This is all too much. I bet he's just sending you on a wild goose chase to get rid of you.
Look with your eyes, not your hands. What are you, children? If you ain't buying, stop fussing about with the merchandise. Were you born in a barn? Did your mother never teach you good manners?
There's the red door. This must be Engelbert's house.
The door's ajar. Someone must have left in a hurry. We better take a look inside.
This must be La Nuit's assistant, Engelbert.
It's the right address, all right.
When will this trail of tragedy end? My death was only the beginning.
The body's fresh. The killer can't be far away.
Say what you will about La Nuit, he was right about there being an assassin. We should find the killer before he gets to La Nuit, and our answers.
Be careful, friends. One who goes hunting for a tiger may learn that the tiger finds him first.
We should search this place first. Maybe Engelbert or his killer left a clue behind.
Now we have you, assassin.
I don't know what you mean.
You can't fool us. We know who you are and you won't get away.
What's wrong with you? I didn't even look at you sideways.
Oh dear, what a blunder. That's not the assassin.
But he looked like... maybe we were a little too quick to act.
Let's think a little harder about what we know next time. Now we have you, assassin.
I don't know what you mean.
You can't fool us. We know who you are and you won't get away.
Who are you maniacs? Why are you attacking me?
What are you doing to that poor innocent person? You've become paranoid and dangerous to others.
But she looked like... Maybe we were a little too quick to act.
You'll have to be cleverer to turn the tables on me. I saw you coming a mile away. Now to get rid of you and finish the job.
Assassin!
What a pity you were too slow to find her.
Stop her!
Ugh! I failed my mission, and the herd, and the great...
What good luck you have, my friends, to overcome such a deadly foe.
With the assassin out of the way, it's time to get back to La Nuit. He's bound to help us now.
If you expect gratitude from that one, I'm afraid you'll be sorely disappointed.
What's this notebook sticking out of the killer's pocket? Here's something about getting rid of Lenuit. Wait, there's something about Professor Tillinghast, too. Escort Tillinghast to the witch house in the bayou. I wonder what they wanted with her there.
Why have you come back without Engelbert? Don't tell me something has happened to him.
We were too late to save him. But we found the assassin and dealt with her.
I told you. You didn't believe me, but it was true. I suppose I should thank you, even if you did fail to save poor dear Engelbert.
We found a note he'd hidden in his apartment. It said something about you and a portal in the bayou.
As I suspected. Alas, Engelbert, you served me well up until the day of your death.
What are you talking about?
The so-called comet that passed near the Earth a few weeks ago, that was not a comet at all. Do I surprise you? I dare say I do by the look of wonder and astonishment in your eyes. I am no mere purveyor of voodoo trinkets and curios, but a scholar of occult knowledge. My ancestors knew the truth, and they passed it down to me along with forbidden tomes and arcane scrolls. We know the danger of the herd of Al-Jidi. They are behind all of these events, and they have been scheming so for decades. Why, just 20 years ago...
Hold on a minute. Let's back up to not a comet at all.
Ah, of course. To the uninitiated, this can seem overwhelming. Very well. The disturbance astronomers mistook for a ball of dust and ice orbiting the sun was in truth a portal. A gate leading to the star Deneb al-Gedi, which the more astute of you may recognize as appearing in the constellation known as the Tail of the Goat, dozens of light years away.
A gateway to a distant star? Go on, pull the other one, Lenuit.
I did warn you Lanui was unstable. What's some mistake for eccentricity is full-blown madness, I tell you.
Not impossible, just hidden from the knowledge of most. You do know that occult means hidden, don't you? Well, I suppose I must keep things as simple as possible for you. Or perhaps not. You have seen the proof yourselves in the book entitled Culte des Goules. You've witnessed the manner of deaths of those who posed an obstacle.
As the Danish prince said, there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
For a long time, I suspected Tillinghast was allied with the herd. She was studying the comet, after all. But with her death, it seems they weren't allies after all. If I had realized, I would have done more to warn her.
Don't beat yourself up about it, Lenuit. There'll be time for that after we've dealt with this herd.
Engelbert infiltrated their cult. He told me of their general plans and described their headquarters in the bayou. The locals call it the witch house and are afraid to go near it. From what Engelbert reported, I knew they were approaching a favorable time for their schemes.
Why do you even listen to this madman? He says he knew I was in danger, but failed to warn me. He sacrificed his own assistant rather than risk his own skin. Untrustworthy villain.
And now you think this portal has opened?
It has. It must have. I know the method of closing it, but the danger of going there... No, I would never survive the attempt.
You're safe with us. After all, we've already saved you from one assassin.
That's true. And I suppose it's no fault of yours you were too late to save Engelbert. Very well, I agree.
Then that is our plan. We'll go together into the bayou.
Closing this mystical gate is far beyond this charlatan's power. You'll only be putting yourselves in more danger than you've ever faced before. Oh, this is much too much. The bayou is a treacherous place in and of itself. How much worse must it be if this portal truly exists? But of course it doesn't. Even if a door to another world could exist, why would it be in a swamp? And how could you close it with a magic book? Safer and more sensible to stay well away from that miserable backwater. Oh, my friends, think about what horrors this portal unleashes. Even considering the dangers you've survived so far, it's far too perilous to approach that gaping maw in the earth. There'll be no escape this time.
Very well. Here we are in this vexatious bayou. You may soon regret your decision, and not only because of the noisome vapors.
The portal has to be around here someplace.
You shouldn't be here, my friends. Something tells me it's very dangerous.
Indeed, it must be. I will go ahead and begin my preparations.
Don't get any bright ideas about slipping away.
One may slip in unobserved, while many are sure to be detected. Besides, I've never heard such a commotion as you tramping through the bayou. I doubt we've left a single twig unsnapped between here and New Orleans.
Now listen, Lanui.
No, you listen for once. The coralberry is native to this particular region of the bayou, and coralberry branches act as an accelerant to the sort of invocations I must conduct to close the portal. Now, gathering some for me would be far more useful than proclaiming my arrival with all the fanfare of a marching band. 3 branches should prove sufficient.
All right.
Oh, and look here. Our friends the Herd have redecorated the bayou. I wouldn't have imagined you could make this foul style any less appealing, but those grotesque statues have certainly done the trick. At least they provide obvious waystones to the portal. Follow them when you're ready to join me. And don't forget the coralberry branches.
Why you persist in doing this man's bidding is beyond me. He cares for nothing but himself. He could turn against you at the slightest whim, I'm sure of it. You had better remain on your guard.
There are purple berries on this plant. I bet it's the coralberry bush La Nuit described.
Let's take some. He said it would help with the ritual.
Isn't that the same creature we saw at the university and in the herd's mansion?
It looks the same. Hideous!
And dangerous, I bet. Let's be careful.
trees here look strange.
Portal must be changing the plant life. We must be close.
Just look at these marvels. I've never seen such trees. Not even in the farthest reaches of this bayou. Can you doubt for a moment that you're facing something far greater than yourselves?
Who's shooting all the way out here?
Must be the herd.
What are they shooting at? We should take a look.
What a tragic fall. That fisherman must have fought those beasts for days before they tore him open.
I warned you, friends. Coming here was a terrible mistake.
Keep your eyes open. We don't want to share the fisherman's fate.
Look out! Behind us!
Those tentacles. It's almost like the monster in the asylum. Maybe it's a variation of it.
That's the fisherman's body under all those tentacles. Those little beasts must transform.
No time for that. Defend yourselves.
I'm pleased to see you didn't become lost in the bayou. It was only after you stomped off that I realized I should have tied a string to you.
I'll be glad to leave this place.
Nevertheless, we're almost done. Did you retrieve some coraberry branches?
No, I'm afraid we didn't.
Alas, I had hoped they would facilitate the ritual. While your failure is disappointing, it does not prevent us from trying. As I awaited your return, I ransacked the belongings the herd abandoned. Here, this might interest you.
A map of New Orleans.
There's a big circle around Jackson Square.
The herd must have plans for something happening there.
That's all very well for you, but let us focus on closing this portal first.
This must be the portal. Never seen anything like it.
What a marvelous phenomenon. Just think of all the alien beings that emerge from, well, wherever the portal leads. The mind reels even to imagine the mechanics of such a device. Surely it is not a naturally occurring effect. Oh, to study it. If only I yet lived.
Now is the time to call spirits from the vasty deep. Or rather, La Nuit, it is time to put them down again.
As I cannot defend myself while preparing the ritual, I trust you will see that those loathsome creatures do not interrupt me. After all, you were the ones who wanted to come here.
Something's coming, La Nuit. You're out of time. Get started.
Not this beast again.
If only you had listened to me instead of that insufferable La Nuit. I fear you shall all die now.
Keep it away from La Nuit.
I thought that was some monster the herd conjured, but they're taking orders from it.
You've done it. You've closed the portal. I hope you're pleased with yourself, having deprived science of the greatest phenomenon humans have ever discovered.
La Nuit's down. The effort of closing the portal must have used the last of his strength.
If La Nuit can close this portal, he can surely open it again. Can you afford to let him live?
Wait a second. What's to stop La Nuit from coming back and reopening the portal? There's only one way to be sure he can't.
La Nuit won't be a problem for anyone anymore. Let's get out of here.